here by special appearance.
I can't let you represent yourself until I establish a couple things.
Well, I need to establish a couple things. I don't understand the nature and cause of the action against me.
I can see why his attorney withdrew. Oh, shit.
I'd like to state for the record that
Mr. McLeod, stop. If you want to dig in your heels and just make this real complicated or real difficult, we could do that. And I can hold you in contempt and you'll go back to a jail cell. Two things are going to happen. You're going to answer my question or you're going to jail.
I don't understand the charges. All right,
Mr. McLeod is in contempt of court, taken into custody. Our first case this afternoon is People of the State of Michigan versus Trevor McLeod. It's filed 23-6748FH. Counsel, you want to state your appearance, please?
Anthony Julian on behalf of the people.
Okay, Mr. McLeod, are you present, sir?
Yeah.
You want to come on up to the table here?
I want to reserve all my rights.
That's fine, I'll. Sorry. Okay. All right. So, Mr. McLeod, this is the time and date scheduled for what's called for a circuit court arraignment. The case having been bound over to this court by the district court. So, you're here representing yourself today. Is that correct?
Yeah.
What's that?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm required by law to make sure that I've taken an initial waiver of your right to counsel in this court. So I covered a pretrial hearing in the district court. So we talked a little bit about this, but now it's up in my court. So you've got two constitutional rights. You can have you have the constitutional right to be represented by an attorney. And if you wanted to have an attorney at public expense and qualified to have that. You also do have the right under our Constitution to represent yourself. Obviously, you can't do both things at the same time. So do you understand your right to a lawyer, including a court-appointed lawyer?
I understand that.
Okay. And do you wish to represent yourself instead of having an attorney?
Yeah, I'm here by special appearance, and I will be representing myself.
Okay. I'm required by law before I accept that waiver to do a couple things. One, advise you of the maximum penalties that you could face for the charges that you're in my court for. Resisting, obstructing conservation officers is a high court misdemeanor punishable by up to 2 years in prison and or $1,000 fine. There's a habitual offender second notice that's been filed by the prosecutor, which would make that a felony punishable by up to 3 years and or $1,000 fine. And marine safety operating while intoxicated is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days and or a $100 to $500 fine. Do you understand the maximum penalty for the charges against you?
Well, I don't even really understand why I'm here, honestly.
Well, okay. Well, that's fine. Do you understand the maximum penalty that I just explained to you?
No.
Hold on, I can't let you represent yourself until I establish a couple things.
Well, I need to establish a couple things too, honestly.
Hold on, well, I can't let you represent yourself until I establish a couple things or I'm going to be in trouble.
Okay.
Do you understand that the maximum penalty that you could face for the charges that you're here for is up to 3 years in prison and or a $1,000 fine?
I don't understand the nature and cause of the action against me. So
what is it that you don't understand? Do you not understand how long 3 years is or how much the fine is that I've articulated? Can you tell me what it is you don't understand? I don't understand the
nature and cause of the action against me because we don't establish jurisdiction.
That's not what I'm asking you right now. Well, I'll let you place whatever objections you want on the record, Mr. McLeod. I promise you that. Okay. Can we just go one step at a time? Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. So one step at a time, I need to establish that you're exercising your constitutional right to represent yourself validly. So for me to do that, somebody might decide they want to do that and they really don't understand what's at stake. So I have to establish on the record that you do understand what's at stake.
Well, I think you have to establish on the record first that you can have jurisdiction. That's been questioned. It was questioned in preliminary hearing. It was never addressed.
I'll address that today.
Well, it has to be addressed before anything can move forward, obviously.
Okay, so you want me to explain to you why I have jurisdiction?
Yes.
Okay, let's do that first.
Jurisdiction it's under.
Sure. Okay. This court has subject matter jurisdiction over crimes punishable by more than a year as the court of general jurisdiction under the Michigan Constitution of 1963. The people voted to ratify that Constitution. That is the underlying law of our sovereign state of Michigan.
Okay, so is that a jurisdiction under criminal? Or is it military?
Yeah, it's a criminal charge against you, and I have jurisdiction over that.
Okay, so the Constitution of the United States only grants you two criminal jurisdictions. One's common law, and One is military tribunal venue under Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17 of the Constitution. Which of these two criminal jurisdictions is that?
You're not in a federal court. It's not a federal crime you've been charged with. You've been charged with violating the law of the state of Michigan. And, hey, what's going on over there? What are you doing, sir?
I'm trying to make sure that this is going live. It's not happening. There's something messed up with your film and I'm trying to straighten it out. I was just checking to see if it was recording or not.
Sit down. Sit down. You're disrupting the courtroom.
Sorry, sir.
It's live. Any more disruptions, I'm going to ask you to leave.
So, common law.
Cloud, you're in a state court. You're charged with violating a law of the state of Michigan.
Is that a statutory jurisdiction? What is it?
Yeah, it's a statute.
Okay,
And this court is duly authorized under Article 6 of the Michigan Constitution. So that's my jurisdiction.
Okay.
So now I need to make sure that you're establishing your right to represent yourself. So do you understand the maximum penalty that you could face if you're convicted as charged? 3 years in prison or $1,000 fine.
Well, I have another question because the statutory jurisdiction doesn't exist under the Constitution. So in order for me to defend myself, could you please tell me where the published rules of conduct are for criminal statutory jurisdiction, or where I can find the nature and cause of this jurisdiction, or how this information exists?
No, I don't even understand what you're asking.
So you're saying this is a statutory jurisdiction under what? The statutes of Michigan, correct?
Mr. McLeod, I've told you what my jurisdiction is.
General
The
jurisdiction.
people of the state of Michigan voted to convene a constitutional convention in 1961.
Sure.
There was a constitutional convention in 1961 and 1962. They proposed a state constitution. The voters of the state of Michigan ratified that in 1963. Article 6 establishes the judicial power. And the circuit court is a court under that judicial power of Article 6 of the state constitution. The legislative power is exercised by the House of Representatives and the state Senate. They have passed statutes that the governor has signed. The prosecutor's office is alleging that you have violated those statutes. And so you're here in my court. I have subject matter jurisdiction over those crimes. I have personal jurisdiction over you because you've been alleged to have committed them in our county. That's my jurisdiction. So Mr. McLeod, do you want to represent yourself? Do you understand the maximum penalty that you could face of 3 years in prison and or $1,000 fine?
1 second.
I can see why his attorney withdrew. Oh, shit.
Hang on, someone in the prosecutor's office is not muted. I'm going to remove you from the meeting at this time.
Oh,
Prosecutor's office is generally allowed to attend, to observe. They've participated. I'm removing them from the hearing. Mr. McLeod, do you understand the maximum penalty that you could face?
1 second. Okay, so when enforcement of mere statutes, judges of all courts do not act judicially and are thus are not protected and qualified by limited immunity. That's Owen versus the city. I just want to state a few things for the record since you're claiming this is a jurisdiction under statutory law.
Hang on. Mr. McLeod, can we back it? Look at me for a second. Can we talk here?
I challenge subject matter jurisdiction. Nothing can go forward until that's addressed. You're saying
I did address it and I denied your objection. I have subject matter
jurisdiction doesn't
jurisdiction.
exist under the Constitution.
Your objection is noted. So, Mr. McLeod, do you understand? Let me explain to you.
Sure.
Sometimes, as I said, people might want to represent themselves, but let's say they have limited intellectual capacity and they don't understand what's going on. I have to establish that they know what's going on before I can allow them to represent themselves. I'm required to establish, do you comprehend, do you know the maximum penalty that you could face if you're convicted as a result of this charge? 3 years in prison or $1,000 fine. Do you understand that, Mr. McLeod?
So I'd like to state for the record that
Mr. McLeod,
the
stop.
court can be.
Stop, Mr. McLeod. If you don't understand it, I'm going to revoke your right to represent yourself and have an attorney represent you because I can't establish that you know what you're doing. So do you know the maximum penalty that you would face?
Your Honor, I've challenged this court's jurisdiction. You haven't established it yet. You said you have a statutory jurisdiction which doesn't exist under the Constitution. I'm trying to figure out where I stand with this. So I can't answer any of your questions until you answer some of mine.
That's not how it works. Are you refusing to answer my question?
No, I'm
Then
still,
answer it. Do you understand the maximum penalty that you face for this charge?
so judges who become involved in enforcement of
Mr.
these
McLeod,
statutes.
I have
act
other
as
man-
clerks
Mr.
of the
McLeod.
involved agency. What's that?
You know, I understand you want to object to things, and you're going to be allowed to object to things, okay?
Sure.
But we have to do things one step at a time. And I do have other cases today. I'm not going to entertain this for like a whole hour. I've got other cases going on. If you want to dig in your heels and just make this real complicated or real difficult, we could do that. And I can hold you in contempt, and you'll go back to a jail cell for a while.
No, Your
and then
Honor,
we'll
I don't wish to be held in contempt. I just wish to exercise my Sixth Amendment right.
That's fine.
And
So
I
before I
cite-
can let you under,
I can
before I
cite
can,
laws. I can cite laws that will show you that the exercise of a right can be converted into a crime. I'm trying to understand the nature and cause of the action against me. You're not clarifying enough to where I can comprehend it, as you say.
you don't comprehend the maximum penalty that you would face.
I'm not answering any of those questions until you establish that this is a court of the Constitution, has jurisdiction under these jurisdictions.
I established it. I told you. You might think I'm wrong, and you can appeal.
There's
it
no
to the
such
Michigan
thing as
Court
a
of Appeals.
statutory jurisdiction.
Mr. McLeod, let me make this simple for you. Do you ever watch, let me make this simple for you.
Sure.
I'm going to ask you this question one more time. One more time.
Okay.
Two things are going to happen. You are either going to answer my question, or I'm going to hold you summarily in contempt, and the court officer will bring you to a jail cell, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. You understand that?
So.
Mr. McLeod,
Contempt for what?
Mr. McLeod, two things are going to happen. You're going to answer my question, or you're going to jail for summary contempt for not complying with the court's request. Do you, Mr. McLeod, understand that the maximum penalty for the charge against you is 3 years in prison and or $1,000 fine?
I don't understand the charges. All right,
Mr. McLeod is in
accept the
contempt of
charges.
court, taken into custody.
Really? That's it. Protecting my rights is what you said last time I said it.
Fucking Joe.
This isn't true. You guys are
We'll have to
following
follow
orders,
unconstitutional
right? You're following
orders.
unlawful orders. It's not
Not a
constitutional
good
at all.
thing.
Mr. McLeod's in contempt, he's sentenced to 1 day. in Mr. McLeod, your sentence is 1 day in jail. We'll reconvene tomorrow and get you
This is about
notice.
the Constitution. I did nothing wrong except to question and exercise my rights.
Mr. Mathis and Mr. White.
In this courtroom hearing, Trevor Mloud chose to represent himself and repeatedly challenged the judge's jurisdiction instead of answering the judge's basic questions. The judge explained that the Michigan Circuit Court had jurisdiction and clearly told him the maximum penalties he could face, including up to 3 years in prison and a $1,000 fine. However, Mloud continued raising constitutional and jurisdiction arguments and refused to directly answer whether he understood the possible penalties. The judge warned him several times that refusing to answer could result in contempt. After giving him multiple opportunities, the judge finally held him in contempt of court and sentenced him to 1 day in jail. The case shows how a courtroom can quickly escalate when a defendant refuses to follow the judge's instructions, even while claiming to be exercising constitutional rights.